Today we'll be learning about the food testing for fats. So we all know that fats are also known as lipids. So fats or lipids both are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in a certain substance which is known as ethanol, which is nothing but alcohol. So for testing of fats, we take a pipette and we place 1 drop of olive oil at the center of the test tube with the help of a pipette. Now we have to add 2 centimeters depth of ethanol. So because olive oil is a fat, it will dissolve in ethanol instantly. So we will just shake the test tube and the olive oil drop will be dissolved in the ethanol. Now we have test tube number 2, where previously we filled 3/4 of the test tube with cold water. Now what we have to do, we have to pour the entire content of this tube 1 into tube 2. So full ethanol solution with the oil will be poured inside this test tube, which is already filled up 3/4 with cold water. As soon as you will pour the entire content into tube 2, what will happen? Ethanol will be diluted because of the presence of water, leaving behind the lipid layer, which will be forming a cloudy layer, and it will float on the top layer of the solution. And this thing is known as emulsion, which are nothing but tiny droplets of fats. So in the fat testing, what are we doing? We are taking 2 test tubes. In the first one, in the bottom center, we'll put 1 drop of olive oil or any kind of oils with the help of a pipette. Now we are adding 2 centimeters of ethanol and we'll shake the test tube so the fat or the oil will be dissolved in the ethanol completely. Sidewise, we'll be taking another test tube where 3/4 of the test tube is already filled up with cold water. Now we'll pour the entire content of tube 1 into tube 2. So what will happen? Ethanol will get diluted by the cold water, leaving behind tiny droplets of fats which will be forming a cloudy layer, and it will be floating on the top layer of the solution. This thing is known as the emulsion. If the cloudy layer appears, that means your test is positive for fats. If there is no cloudy layer formation, that means your sample is not containing any kind of fats and it is negative for testing of fats.